Hello, my name is Casey Hart, and if you already have not done so, please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment below. So today's topic is important to me, and I hope it's important to you. Because for my view, my understanding of what I read, and what I feel the Lord has told me of what I'm reading, what can I say? The future generation depends on us. Our children, grandchildren, so on. Okay. So my title is No to the Trace Act, Bill H.R. 6666. Again, No to the Trace Act, H.R. 6666 bill. Let me bring a little snip, and I guess everybody hopefully knows this. A bill is just presented, but once it's voted on and accepted, it becomes a law. Does anybody get that? Okay. All right, let me just start here. A bill to authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services to award grants to eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing for COVID-19 and related activities. What are the related activities? Okay, they're going to discuss some, such as contact tracing through mobile health units and as necessary at individuals' residences and for other purposes. I don't know about anybody else, but and I know maybe some people have probably signed those big long papers with all that wording. I agree, and you sign, and then you come to find out, man, I should have read it. Other purposes? What does that mean? I understand individuals' residencies, so they're going to come to people's homes. I understand contact tracing, so someone who has COVID-19 is going to be asked, who were you with? Where were you at? So that they could go and knock on the doors of those people and test them. Let me go on. On page 2, and I guess this will be the huge one. Well, number 10, line 10, sorry. COVID-19, let me start on line 9. Grants to eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing for COVID-19 to trace and monitor the contacts of infected individuals. So now you're not only tracing them, you're going to monitor them. And to support the quarantine of such contacts. Support the quarantine. Anybody who knows what quarantine means, for me, it just means what we've been told to do lately, right? Stay home. Okay. So how are they going to enforce that? I guess by monitoring you. They're going to monitor you. Maybe they'll have somebody outside. Again, this is my views, my understanding. Remember, when somebody reads something, everybody has a different analyzing of their reading. If anyone who's been a teacher, you could give the same story to 30 kids, and each kid might have a different opinion to that same story. This is mine. And again, I'm just bringing awareness. And why I am disappointed. I am disappointed that the government would just put this in between this whole thing about giving more money to people. Hey, okay. You need the funds? God bless you. Go ahead, separate it. Don't put this bill in there so that people could be distracted. And yes, money. but not see that the bill is in there. All right. I did say quarantine. Okay. Let me reread that. And to support the quarantine of such contacts through mobile health units. So I guess the mobile health units would be probably parked outside the homes. I mean, my opinion. And as necessary. As necessary. So they're going to support the quarantine of such contacts, line 14, as necessary. What does that mean? What does as necessary mean? Testing individuals and providing individuals with services related to testing and quarantine at their residences. Okay, so as necessary, they'll just test you and they'll quarantine you in your own residences. Okay. How are they going to keep you in there? Wait. The last time I know, I live in the United States. I should be able to walk out of my house whenever I feel like it. Then again, lately, it's been not appearing like the United States has it. And quarantine. So if they're going to test you, test individuals, provide individuals with services related to testing, and quarantine at their residences. Provide individuals with services. What services? If I didn't go to the hospital, if anyone didn't go to the hospital, they didn't feel like it. If they had a fever, it could have just been a fever. Maybe, hey, a fever of so much fear. So what services? What are you planning to come into residences and do? You see, this is me when I read something. I question it. Because if I'm going to write about it, I need to understand what I'm writing about. And that's what this is what I'm asking for everyone to actually do with this. It's not look at little certain highlights. It's read in between the lines. Read. But again, this is my view. I'm just bringing awareness. Let me go down to line 22. To purchase personal protective equipment and other supplies. So, of course, this bill is also going to give the people that they're going to hire to purchase personal equipment, protective equipment. I mean, this is just me, but so you're going to come to knock on my door with one of those white suits or something? Okay. Let me move on. And of course, here on number 14, it says federal privacy requirements. Nothing in this section shall be construed or supersede any privacy or confidentiality requirements of HIPAA. You come into my home, you're knocking on the door, you want to test me because so-and-so told you that she was with me or he was with me. Yeah, you're in my business already. Actually, you were in the business of the person who had, I guess it was up to the person to say, I have my HIPAA law. I don't have to share if I have anything. But wait a minute. This is for you to share who you were with. And once it becomes a law, and let me just continue. Okay, there. Here it's page 4. Social-based health clinics. Excuse me. School-based health clinics. So they're going to put these clinics also into schools. The last time I remember, a nurse would be in the school, and if a child had anything, a fever or something, they would just, that's the most they could do, take the temperature and call the parents. For anything other than that, maybe 7th grader, 8th grader, they would call the parent, do you want me to give them a Tylenol? Until the parent got home to go to the school or something like that. But in this case, there's going to be a school-based health clinic. So what they're going to do there? If the parent's working, why are they at the school? Are they going to be taking care of the children without the parents being present? Questioning, that's all I'm doing. And of course, elementaries, high school, they're stipulating here, it's elementary and secondary educations, high schools, okay? Places that they will be probably beginning a lot, and actually I've heard there's a few places already starting the trials on this. The term hotspot means a geographical area where the rates of infection with virus that caused COVID-19 exceeds the national average. So they would be starting these, and actually they've already started the trials in areas where there's been a spike on this, on COVID-19. I did see that New York was hiring tracers. Just the word itself sounds like a movie. And the last thing I noticed here, you know how much this bill is they're going to put for this bill? $100 billion for a fiscal year 2020, fiscal year of 2021, and any subsequent fiscal year during which the emergency period continues. So $100 billion on having people to trace people who have COVID-19. And to do who knows what. First of all, go to your residences, quarantine you in your residency. My question, again, I always ask questions. So if there's 3 people in a home, one of them tests positive, the other 2 don't test positive. I guess that's if they allow themselves. But then again, if it's a law, is it mandatory to get tested in your own home? What would they do next? Out of the 3, 1 tests positive, 2 do not. They're going to quarantine the infected. You fill in the answer. And yeah, it hits personal home because I was a single mom. So I think as a single mom too, and I still am. But my son is older now. So what if? Yes, it does not say it here. I understand, people. But this is why I'm asking myself, what does it actually say? Quarantine the infected. I got it. So if there is a single mom, they test her at her residence with a child, and she tests positive. And let's say, because it's a law, they forcefully test the child too. The child is not positive. So how are you going to quarantine the infected? I'll let you answer that to yourself too. Anyway, I said I was going to try to make this one short. And I have 2 things. First of all, everybody knows the First Amendment, correct? Freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Okay, let me read it a little bit better. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. I know many people are trying to explain that to me, but my understanding, I don't know, church is closed. Or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of press. Freedom of speech. If anyone has noticed, there's stuff on Facebook and YouTube that has been deleted because it doesn't meet whoever owns these things standards. I mean, I don't know, but I've seen some videos or heard some songs where, remember the 80s? I mean, the songs at least were a little bit better than today. I mean, those songs are like, wow, the words they use, why don't you delete those? Okay. Let's move on. Or the right of the people peacefully to assemble. I guess that goes back to the church, but it also goes back to graduation. Yes, that's hit home. Tell me what you want to tell me. The rights of our graduates to peacefully assemble, even at least as a drive-in, has been violated. And I'm going to continue emailing. I'm going to continue doing what I can because I know as nowadays things are coming to the light, sooner or later, Governor Wolf or the school district is going to be sued too. I mean, college is already being sued. Let's move on. Now, the other one I wanted to bring, which actually is the Fourth Amendment. Has anybody read that one? Okay, the Fourth Amendment is search and seize. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, house, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Okay, but this one I guess would overthrow that one. Because if they're coming to your residence to test you, you have the right, according to the Amendment number 4, Constitutional Amendment number 4, the right of people to be secure in their persons. First of all, persons, like my persons, right? House, papers, and effects. Against reasonable search, unreasonable searches, and seizures. Unreasonable. Okay. I guess after this is put in law, which I rebuke in the name of Jesus, it would be reasonable, wouldn't it? To come and search your home or come and knock on your door and it's the law, we need to test you. And of course, it talks about shall not be violated and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause. So, okay, so a warrant, we know if there's a criminal or something, so there has to be a probable cause so that a house can be searched. But if you're contacting and tracing and quarantining, putting in quarantine people who are infected in their own homes, then you're overstepping the Fourth Amendment. All right. I've said what I had to say. And this is just a piece. It's in Revelations 13, verse 18. And this is the Amplified Bible. Here is room for discernment, a call for the wisdom of interpretation. Let anyone who has intelligence, penetration, and insight enough calculate the number of the beast, for it is a human number, the number of a certain man. His number is 666. Yeah, I know there's an extra 6 in here. But all I'm going to say is, you know what? This is my view. This is what I'm understanding. As anyone knows, when you give someone something to read and write a report on it, everybody might have a different opinion to that report, to that what they just read. And this is what I am reading in this HR 6666 bill. So yes, my vote is no. And I really hope that after this, or hey, get in prayer, ask the Lord to show you what He has shown me. And I usually have the same verse lately. Luke 21:36. I'm reading it. But stay awake at all times, praying that you may have strength to escape all these things that are going to take place and to stand before the Son of Man. Stay awake, praying to have strength to escape. You know, I didn't look up the verse, but the verse, I know it says, my people perish by the lack of knowledge. And I know that there's been different parts in the Bible where God sent many, some people call them prophets, some people call them messengers, to give warning. Hey, we all know Noah gave the warning. If anybody knows Jonah was supposed to go one way. He went the opposite way. He didn't want to go. But at the end, he had to go and give the warning, even though he didn't want to. Sometimes giving a warning, many will not listen, like in the story of Noah. So, am I correct? Am I wrong? People usually like this one. Agree to disagree. Because I guess both people are winning. But in my heart, and again, I'm saying in my heart, today I prayed and I cried like this. Everything God had to say, I'm not going to share it here. Because it goes deep. This bill is overstepping more amendments. And sadly enough, the way they're trying to bring it is to give grants. And the biggest one is them putting it in that stimulus package to give money to people. The distraction. People see money, they get distracted. They don't see what's actually inside. What's in the stimulus package. God bless everyone. Sorry, tried to speak as fast as I could. And again, if you don't agree, this is just information. This is where I feel I stand, and I hope that there are many people out there that vote no to this bill. God bless you.